day everyone. I'm Zeline Amoriero and today I will discuss this semantic ambiguity. So what is semantic ambiguity? Semantic ambiguity is composed of two words. The semantic is the study of meaning in words, phrases, and sentences. It determines if the part of the sentence makes sense together, often based on real-world knowledge. So we already know that semantic is a systematic study of how we interpret words, phrases, and sentences. Ambiguity refers to a sentence having an unclear, contradictory, conflicting meaning. The sentence is semantically ambiguous when there are area-coupled semantic violations or anomalies that create a paradox or conflict in meaning. In short, semantic ambiguity is when a sentence, words, or phrases has more than one possible meaning, or a word meaning contradicts the word it modifies. So now we will examine the famous sentence, colorless green ideas sleep furiously. So colorless green ideas sleep furiously. The question of discussion. The first one is the sentence syntactically acceptable? The second one is, it is semantically compatible. So the sentence is syntactically acceptable because it has a subject, which is the ideas, a verb, sleep, and a predicate, sleep furiously, forming a valid English sentence structure. However, it is semantically incompatible because the meaning is wrong. It introduces the core paradox of the sentence. It sounds grammatically correct, but it makes no sense. Syntactic acceptability is about the sentence structure or the rules of grammar. Sentence compatibility is about the meaning or rules of sense. So the noun ideas in the semantic feature of ideas is human. Yet the verb sleep requires a subject with the semantic feature, making the noun incompatible of the action. So the verb sleep, this action is attached to the desired combination of adjectives. The first one is colorless. Colorless means without color. The second one is green, which is a kind of color which combines with without color to form hyponym, or a word whose meaning includes the meaning of another. So here are some examples of semantic. First one is the worm sneeze. The winter killed the rocks. The stallion was pregnant. All three sentences are anomalous. Why? Each exhibits a subject-verb or adjective-noun incompatibility. This involves violating specific semantic restrictions. So in sentence number 1, the verb sneeze requires a human subject or other animals capable of it. So we already know that only living things can sneeze, like human or animals. So to correct this sentence, we may use the man, person, or animal sneeze. Number 2, the verb kill requires an agent capable of killing. Winter and rocks are non-living things. So the winter killed the plants, crops, or soldiers is the correction for this sentence. Number 3 sentence, the adjective pregnant can only modify a mature female animal, but stallion is a male horse. So we may use the mare was pregnant because mare is referring to female horse. So sometimes incompatible sentences are due to language users' grammatical lapses. Other times, anomalous sentences are deliberately composed. Question: why would someone do this? The answer is poetry, or poets often use anomalous constructions in metaphor or personification to evoke imagery, create deeper meaning, or achieve a license that conventional grammatical doesn't allow. So take note that not all incorrect sentences are mistakes. In artistic contexts like poetry, breaking semantic rules is a power tool to have evocative and creative sentences. Thank you.
So, good day everyone. So, today I'll be reporting about pragmatist. Pragmatist deals with the aspect of meaning that depends on the context and the communicative intention of a speaker. In other words, it focuses not just on what it said, but what the speaker actually means when saying it. For example, A says, "Hey John, are you coming to the party?" And then B replies that I have an exam tomorrow. Even though B didn't say no, the implied meaning is that he won't come. That's what pragmatist studies. The intended meaning behind the words. To fully understand the speaker's intention, we must look at the context. Things like the setting of this or situation, the manner of speaking, and the receiver or listener, including the non-linguistic factors like tone, facial expression, and etc.
Good morning, everyone. I am Leslie Baledares, and my topic is all about speaker meaning. So, when we say speaker, it is a person who is talking or delivering a message, either in a conversation, speech, story, or any piece of writing. Just like, for example, in everyday conversation, the speaker told a funny story about her family. So, the speaker, obviously, in the sentence, is the person who was talking or telling the story about her family. So, in example number 2, in classroom or event, our guest speaker discussed mental health awareness. So, the speaker in the example or in the sentence is the person invited give a talk or deliver a speech about mental health, because she is the one delivering a message or discussing mental health awareness. In literature, poems, or story, example number 3. Sentence from poem. Wandered lonely as a cloud. William Wordsworth. So the speaker in the sentence is the voice saying the line, not necessarily the poet himself. So, example number 4, in dialogue. So, in the sentence, they say, "I'm so excited for tomorrow." And someone replied, "Me too." So, here, speaker A and speaker B are the people speaking because they are both delivering a message. And example number 5, in technology context, the sentence, "Turn up the volume on the speaker so everyone can hear." So in this case, or in this scenario, the speaker in the sentence is not a person, but also a device that produces sound, but not a person.
Good morning, Mom. My name is Johnny Tokoyo, and my lesson it's all about context. So, context. Pragmatics is about the contextual meaning of utterances. The meaning of words depend on context, which can be linguistic context or context or physical context. Words like bank or court have multiple meanings, and we can only understand them correctly by looking at surrounding words, context, or real-world experiences, or physical context. For example, bank could mean a financial institution or the side of a river, and we figure it out from the context. So the pragmatics is about the contextual meaning of utterances where the words depends on its context. There are two types, linguistic context and physical context. So the linguistic context, its meaning determined by surrounding words, and physical context, its meaning based on real-world situations and experiences. Here are two examples. So the number one example is the word bank. So the linguistic context of the word bank, here are the examples. See you later at the bank. So the word bank means a financial institution where you deposit or withdraw money. So the linguistic context here, see you later at, this suggests a place you can visit or meet someone at, which help you understand that the word bank refers to a financial institution where you deposit refers to a financial institution, not a river bank. So the linguistic context is the word see you later at because it gives you the clue to the meaning of the word bank. And the physical context of the word bank. Here are the examples. If you're holding a basketball and someone says, let's sit on the bank. So the word bank So the physical context is the real world situations and surroundings you are in. So the physical context in these examples, you are holding a basketball, meaning you are outside or near a playground, and the setting suggests a real place to sit, like the side of a river or lake. So these real situations help you understand that the word bank means a river bank, not a financial bank. So let's proceed to the number two examples, is the word court. So the linguistic context of the word court, here are the examples. The judge entered the court. So the word court means a place of law. So the linguistic context here is the judge entered because it helps you understand that the word court, which means a place of law, not a sports court. So the linguistic context here is the judge entered because it gives the clue to the meaning of the word court. And the physical context of the word court, here are the examples. If you're holding a basketball and someone says, meet me at the court. So the court means a sports playing area. So the physical context is you are holding a basketball and likely in a place related to sport. So this real world situation, holding a basketball, it helps you understand that the word court means a sports playing area, not a court room.
Good day, everyone. I'm Dayanara Villanero, and I will talk about presupposition. So, first, let's understand what it means. So, presupposition, it's like a hidden message, a hidden information, or extra information in our sentences. It is something the speaker and the listener already believe or taken as a true information, even though it is not directly said or it is not directly mentioned. So basically, it is like a background information in our words or in our sentences. Example, John stopped smoking. So, the hidden assumption or the hidden information in that sentence is John used to smoke because it used the word stopped, right? It is a past tense, even though the sentence doesn't said John used to smoke. Still, it can be considered a hidden assumption because in a sentence John stopped smoking, so it assumes that John used to smoke before. So presupposition has 6 types. The first one is existential presupposition. So from the word mismo na exist, this type of presupposition, it assumes that something or someone already exists. Because as I said, from the word existential presupposition. Example, Maria's cat is cute. In this sentence, it assumes that Maria really has a cat. Kasi even though walay giingon na Maria has a cat in that sentence, ang giingon lang is Maria's cat is cute. Still, it assumes that that person, Maria, has a cat. The second type of presupposition is factive presupposition. This type of presupposition, it assumes that the information is being talked about, is being mentioned about, is really a fact information from the word factive presupposition. Example, she realized the exam was difficult. In this sentence, it assumes that the exam was indeed difficult. The third one is called lexical presupposition. This happens when a certain words or a sentence give extra hidden meaning. Words like stop, continue, again, it can manage to give extra meaning or information. Example is he stopped smoking. So in that sentence, it assumes that he used to smoke before. Next is called structural presupposition. Sometimes the structure of the sentence itself creates an assumption. This usually happens in sentences with words like when, where, and how often. Example, when did you start working here? So in that sentence, ang assumption dito kay you are already working here. Next is non-factive presupposition. This type of presupposition, it assumes that something is not true, and it often comes from words like dream, imagine, and pretend. Example, he pretends to be sick. Ang assumption dito is he is not really sick because it is a non-factive presupposition. The last one is counterfactual presupposition. This is about situations opposite to reality. So basically, it's just an opposite of the reality. It assumes something is not true in life or in person. Example, if I were rich, I would buy a mansion. So the assumption there is that I am really not a rich person. So, to conclude, presupposition means hidden message or hidden assumptions in our sentences. Again, good day, I am Dainara Villanero.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Bea Valaram. So let's move on to the next topic, which is the implicators. So implicators, it is the hidden or implied meaning in utterance convey beyond its proposition. The importance of implicators is that they help us communicate more efficiently than by explicitly expressing everything we want to communicate. So the example of implicators, so the person A, have you already texted them? So the person B responds, I don't have load. So related to presupposition are the implicators. An implicator is something that is suggested or implied in an utterance. For example, that I said earlier, it can be understood that B has not yet texted them. So this implied meaning or information is what we meant by implicator.
Good morning, everyone. I am Cherilyn F. Sarabia. I'm the one reporting of Dixis. So first, let me define what is Dixis. Dixis is like using pointing words that relay on the situation. To make sense, it's when the meaning of a word changes depending on who is speaking, where they were, and when they are speaking. If you don't know the context, won't understand. So let's take the example, did you go yesterday? So the you, these words depends who is being spoke to. Well, and then there, what is the place or location? Then yesterday, what specific time did this happen? So there are three types of dixis. Person dixis, words that point to a people or things. Like for example, hear them, those, it, this. Well, the spatial or location dixis, where the place or location. For example, here, there, next to, up. While the temporal dixis, pointing to a time. For example, last week, so yesterday, now. So that is my report. Thank you. So in simple terms, dixis is like using your words that act like fingers, pointing to different things, people, place, time. To understand what those words mean, you need to know the situation or the context in which they are being used.
Good day, everyone. I am Kristen Joy P. Camales. So I will be the one who discussing the sentence meaning. So, sentence meaning is the literal meaning of the words in a sentence. It is what the sentence directly says without adding any hidden or extra meaning. You can understand it by just reading the words, even without knowing the situation. For example, the wind is cold. The sentence means that the air or wind feels cold. It only talks about the temperature. In short, sentence meaning what the words clearly says, not what the speaker really means.